Right now, more rain heading to Kentuckiana. Looking ahead to tomorrow, first right here tonight. Hi, everybody. I'm Doug Proffitt. First Alert Storm Team meteorologist Colleen Peterson, now with us, part of the WHAS11 night team every night, is here to say how much rain. So where's it stand, Colleen?
You know, I don't want to say goodbye to that sunshine. We only had it for one day. We were gray from Saturday until today. Really, we started to see some nice sunny, warm weather starting to rise out ahead of this cold front. So we have a cool down underway in store this weekend. But before we get there, we have some showers to get through. Right now, tracking through the central state of Illinois. So we are tracking some scattered showers that will be heading our way here shortly over the next few hours. I'm going to time out that rain here throughout the show.
We're following a late developing story on the night team after this student and teacher protest and walkout at Thomas Nelson High School in Bardstown today. Now there's no school tomorrow at all. All Nelson County schools are closed after teachers called out in huge numbers. They are protesting the Nelson County School Board's decision to possibly merge the school with Nelson County High School. Several parents have sent WHAS 11 News the letter from the superintendent that was sent out tonight, apologizing, but stating that a huge number of teachers and staff members aren't going to come to work tomorrow. The letter from Superintendent Wes Bradley says over 200 teachers and staff members called out across the district and that they wouldn't be able to safely operate the Nelson County schools with so many absences tomorrow. Now, the cancellations happened after students made their voices heard all day today over the potential merger. They and staff members believe it'll cause friction between the two student bodies and take away individual opportunities to succeed.
Our clubs, clubs that are school-based, our clubs are going to get larger, so it's going to decrease our opportunities and our voice in a way, because a big part of clubs is being able to represent yourself and hold yourself on your own.
I think there's a lot to be gained from having all of our resources on one campus, and our most precious resource being teachers.
The next board meeting is scheduled for November 14th at the Boston School in Nelson County. Again, the decision to merge is called preliminary, and at last night's meeting, no timeline was given. This is a developing story. We'll continue coverage on Good Morning Kentuckiana tomorrow from Nelson County and here on WHAS 11 News. Also new tonight on the night team, the Brooks Houck murder case file in Bardstown is growing. More than 100 new documents were filed in Nelson County Circuit Court today. Brooks Houck is currently in the Hardin County Detention Center, charged with the murder of his former girlfriend, Crystal Rogers. His request for a lower bond was denied, a Nelson County judge keeping him in jail on a $10 million cash bond, citing several reasons, including concerns for the safety of witnesses. Now, we looked over these new documents today. They're known as discovery, and they're being entered into the case file. That includes property records from the Kentucky Secretary of State and many business records. The Commonwealth alleges Houck is a multi-millionaire. Notably, two items are still sealed from the public, and that's the video recording and transcript of a conversation between Houck and his sister. The special prosecutor says that recording proves the Houck family illegally recorded grand jury proceedings just recently. Houck is expected to be back in court in February of next year. All new right now on the WHAS 11 night team. Downtown Louisville is struggling with vacancies. You know that. We don't have to tell you that. But now the mayor, who developed a successful hotel chain as a private businessman, says some of those empty office buildings could be housing or hotels. But he's also asking the state for millions of dollars to save the inner city that was once so vibrant. The night team's Connor Steffen and photojournalist Elijah McKenzie are live downtown right now. Connor, how would all this elaborate plan work?
Yeah, Doug, so the mayor laid all of this out in his list of legislative priorities for the 2024 session. He's asking state lawmakers to give him $30 million to turn vacant office space into new places to live, hoping it will lead to a resurgence in downtown activity. A sprawling convention downtown.
We come for the landscape industry show.
Giving some a first glimpse of Louisville.
A lot more to do here. Yeah, it's a lot more population now.
I feel like this is probably one of the busier places downtown of anything.
Others like Billy Patterson have been coming downtown for decades, noticing one specific change.
I think it's been a bit of decline year after year. I don't see much development. It just seems like to be the same thing every year, except maybe more disrepair.
It's something Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg sees too.
If you look around where we are right now, you'll see office spaces with for lease signs.
Now launching a new plan for positive change.
Let's make downtown the place to be.
Greenberg wants the Kentucky General Assembly to give Metro government $30 million to help flip unused downtown office space into residential apartments to ideally surge activity in the business district.
I think the mayor has pointed out that we're losing workforce age people to other cities.
Rebecca Flashaker with Louisville Downtown Partnership says about 20% of downtown's vacant spaces could be easily redeveloped.
If you could work from anywhere in the world, why not work in Louisville, Kentucky? It's affordable, it's easy to get around, your quality of life is high, easy access to government officials.
The mayor, who in private life helped develop the 21C hotel chain, also proposed flipping spaces into hotel and entertainment properties.
I believe it is his wheelhouse. Development is it. As long as you got the foundation there, I think you'd be successful.
David Nickleys with Nickleys Development has been sounding the alarm about downtown, upset that LG&E is leaving its downtown tower.
We need those people. We need daytime and nighttime population downtown.
He believes the city can't begin working on redevelopment until it solves another major issue.
Perception is we're an unsafe city. So we've got to do something bold, acknowledge that we're perceived that way, and say what we're going to do to fix it, and then fix it.
Now, of course, all this hinges on what comes out of the next legislative session that is slated to begin in January of 2024. We're live in downtown Louisville. Connor Steffen, the WHAS 1119 on your side.
Connor, thank you very much. Great ideas and very good points made on this issue tonight. Mayor Craig Greenberg is also asking the state for $22.5 million for the proposed community care campus. That regards the city wants to turn a block of unused buildings in the Smoketown neighborhood into a resource for homeless people. The plan includes a medical respite facility to help people leaving the hospital, family housing, and more. The city still has not awarded a contract to operate the facility, but Mayor Greenberg says if they get this money, the plan will be a success.
This proposal here will help make that a reality even quicker. With the money that we've asked for here, it will go into additional capital projects to make those services come online quicker.
Bidding for the project ended on August 11th, and 3 groups submitted proposals. Greenberg says they are not considering reopening the building. Also included in the mayor's legislative priorities is $35 million to help fund infrastructure improvements throughout the city. Greenberg also asking the legislature to allow Louisville to make its own gun laws, including destroying weapons, requiring background checks, and allowing red flag laws. He also pushed Kentucky lawmakers to pass a wiretapping law to combat gang violence. He says his office has learned how often young people are talking about crimes on their phones and social media, and the law will allow trained law enforcement to arrest gang leaders. The mayor hopes the wiretapping law, by the way, will help crack down on the rise in violent crimes across the city, something he and Louisville Metro Police Chief Jackie Gwen Villarroel emphasized today at the Louisville Forum held downtown. The mayor's office says 30% of the all-violent crime in the metro is due to gangs. Gwen Villarroel says she's pleased the city can finally acknowledge and admit there is a serious gang problem in Louisville, noting that the gang violence has happened for decades, but it was often something many shied away from even talking about.
We had a blind eye to it. Oh, it's not happening here in Louisville. Guess what? Newsflash, it is. And so with acknowledgement, then you're able to do better and tackle that particular challenge that is facing our city.
Both the mayor and the chief were also asked about the idea of putting a Kentucky State Police post right in Metro Louisville, something being pushed by the gubernatorial candidate Daniel Cameron. The two seem to have differing opinions about that idea.
I would take any additional law enforcement presence. I can't speak to what their role will be, but coming into the city of Louisville, I'm hoping that it will not distract or take away from other duties around the state.
There are parts of our state that rely on KSP to be their police department. So my suggestion to the legislature is provide some more funding for local police departments like LMPD.
Adding a KSP post to Louisville has been an idea floated by Republicans, saying the post would provide extra police support to help police combat the rising violence in our city. By the way, the closest KSP post to downtown Louisville is Elizabethtown. That's 47 minutes away. Just into the newsroom, Ford says it had to lay off even more employees due to the strike at Kentucky's truck plant in eastern Jefferson County. In an update today, the company says that 150 workers at the Sterling Axle plant in Michigan were asked not to come in today. The company says this is due to the plant having to reduce production of parts that would normally be shipped here to Louisville to the Kentucky truck plant. Ford says over 19,000 workers have now been impacted by the ongoing strikes. All news since 6 here on the night team. You are looking at brand new Sky 11 drone video from today as it moves over thousands of acres of farmland in Clark County, Indiana. The land was teed up and ready to be zoned for a new massive solar farm of solar panels. The proposal would lease the land to the company called Bright Night, which they say could power the equivalent of 70,000 homes each year, and selling the power to those who want to buy it. But tonight, it was a standing room only crowd in front of the Clark County Board of Zoning Appeals in Jeffersonville. Residents voicing enough protests that the plan went down in defeat. WHAS 11 Night Team's Taylor Woods and photojournalist Aspen Hester covered the meeting with homeowners and farmers.
Take a look from the Sky 11 drone. This property is just part of 3,900 acres of Clark County farmland where a company known as Bright Night wanted to install solar panels. More than 100 Clark County residents packed the Clark County Government Center to voice their opinions.
According to my research, solar panels are not to be placed in residential areas and not within 1.2 miles of a home.
We are surrounded by this. There's going to be flooding problems.
We're going to be looking at them every day.
Presenters from Bright Night said the panels would cover less than 1,000 acres of their proposal and that it would not pose a high risk for harm.
This project, regardless of that, the project doesn't create glare, doesn't create reflection. And so there's no kind of adverse impact from glare or reflection on.
Yet residents weren't buying it. Some say they were given short notice about this proposal, and with the company not being around for long, they're concerned.
They're located in Florida. Why do they want to come up here to Indiana?
Before the Clark County officials voted, Bright Night gave their final pitch as to why they should okay their solar farm for southern Indiana.
I appreciate all the feedback. That makes us better developers. That helps us improve projects.
In the end, the board voted no against the solar farm.
The motion was denied for the applicant, so.
Residents say they are happy the board listened to their concerns.
I haven't been able to sleep at night, and I'm just glad that I'm going to get a good night's rest, and it's behind me for now.
In Clark County, Taylor Woods, WHAS 11 Night Team on your side.
Now, all new tonight in response to that denial, Bright Night sent WHAS 11 News a statement within the last couple of hours saying in part, "We felt strongly that our project would provide incredible value to the area by delivering affordable, safe, and reliable electricity. Our project would also create hundreds of jobs and generate $100 million in tax revenue over the life of the project." The company went on to say that they hope to work in Clark County in the future and correct what they call misinformation presented at that meeting tonight.